The Neolithic Revolution, though very simple, was an astonishing new era in the agricultural process. With it, we developed many customs that we still hold closely today, and use them in ways like never before. To find out more, we need to go deeper into our sources. Here's Nick.
The Neolithic Revolution started about 12,000 years ago in 10,000 BC. This is when farmers started domesticating crops like corn, wheat, barley, flax, rice, and other farms. They also domesticated animals like cows, sheep, and other things like chickens. So, how has the Neolithic Revolution affected your life so far?
The Neolithic Revolution has affected my day-to-day life. I no longer have to gather everything that I need, and I can settle down with the family for short periods of time.
Would you say it is easier to feed your family with all the new techniques for farming?
I would say that it's absolutely easier to get food. With more methods like domestication to travel and trade crops with ease, using manure for fertilization, I was able to sustain my family with money and food that I could grow. Not only this, but I found better locations to find and grow my food. These were in the newly developed towns and sustained land.
Finally, what is something that you would like to change about your circumstances in the Neolithic Revolution? If anything, why?
Though I'm very grateful for the opportunities I'm having now, manual labor on the farm can get hard, especially due to the constant viruses, illness, and little ways to fight them. It becomes hard work in the farm every day.
This information is beyond helpful. We can really tell that the revolution has made its name and has truly stood out to farmers alike. Back to you, Grayson.
The Neolithic Revolution began a long time ago, and though that time has decayed, many of its effects and practices still linger today. Is it hot in here? What is our weather like, Tyler?
The climate of today greatly differs from the climate of the Neolithic Revolution. Right now, I'm in Israel, and looking towards the Fertile Crescent and our sustained climate. During the Neolithic Revolution, climate was not hard to follow. There are districts of climate all around the equator. But today, our climate is heating due to our changing agricultural processes, increased manufacturing, and more. This shows how agriculture in the Neolithic era was easier to understand and not as complex and busy as it is today.
Speaking of busy, what does our traffic look like today?
Our traffic greatly differs from the traffic that they had during the Neolithic Revolution. Now there's huge traffic jams on pretty much every road, and heat is just unbearable. Just as unbearable as the traffic. But in the Neolithic Revolution, there were no cars, seeing as the DTM stage was early stage 1. People just walking on paths and horse carts carrying heavy things. We have another news story about the Neolithic Revolution, but after this break.
Try the new black hole soda now for a limited time.
It sucks you right in!
The Neolithic Revolution really changed the world around us. It was the foundation of all the revolutions to follow. People were just starting to figure out how to use the land to their advantage instead of just using what they could find. Now let's go to our field reporter at the scene for more information. Ben?
The Neolithic Revolution led to the domestication of plants and fixed field agriculture that allowed humans to form sedentary villages and towns, which led directly to the formation of states. Could you give some examples on how the Neolithic Revolution helped support your family?
Before the revolution began, my family and I were constantly moving all over the area. Wheels and wagons were just invented, and my stickler of a husband decided that they were solely for our crops, meaning we had to walk these long distances. But now we have a home, neighbors, and a town where we can trade our crops and rely more on the people around us.
Why do you think the Neolithic Revolution evolved to be as great as it is known today?
When people come together, I think change happens a lot quicker. Because of this revolution, civilizations were created, and those led to new jobs and technologies, in which led to larger trade. These are all part of the making of great empires. These empires are what hold the world
And changed it into the place that you all live today. This revolution was the start of something new.
What do you believe has changed the most in your daily life since the Neolithic Revolution began?
I believe my daily life became more stable the less we migrated. Before, other than the constant walking, my daily tasks would change depending on where we were going or what needed to be done. But now my day-to-day is essentially farm, cook, trade, and take care of the children. There aren't as many variables, like what new plants or animals we come across, or what the safest route to our destination would be.
How do you think these revolutionary changes spread from the Fertile Crescent to the rest of the world?
The Columbian Exchange was a large part of the spread of these practices. Not only were fruits, vegetables, and livestock between the New World and the Old World being exchanged, agricultural practices were being shared as well. These ideas expanded and developed more into their new areas, which eventually would lead to the Second Agricultural Revolution.
Wow, this information has offered us so much insight as to what our past and even present hold. Through more availability and stability and more people being brought together and holding a sense of place, we can tell this revolution was agriculture's true spark. Now back to our anchor.
That's amazing. The Neolithic Revolution really did change a lot of lives, so many people have been able to settle down and live better lives.